Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston, this is the station. I am ready for the event.
ESA, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check. ESA, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Hello, everybody. Can you guys hear me?
It's so good to hear it from you. Luca, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Now I can.
We are delighted, and I have to wait a little bit so that the sound goes all the way up to the space station. Luca, we're absolutely great to have you here for this conversation. We've got a few questions lined up for you, and the very first question, which is burning the lips of everyone, is how are you doing up in space? Are you enjoying it now, Mr. Commander?
First of all, let me say hello to everybody down there. I haven't had the chance yet. I know that Thomas is there, Philip, and of course, Claudie. It's a pleasure to know that you guys are down there with me. And you can probably tell from the smile on my face, yes, I am enjoying myself terribly. It is a great honor and a great responsibility to be the space station commander. I said at the beginning of my speech last week that my job would be to be at the service of the program and the crew, and I'm doing just that. I'm trying to be as available as possible for their job. For example, 2 days ago during the EVA, I was the IV. I felt very responsible for their safety, but at the same time, I'm really, really enjoying my time up here. It's impossible not to.
Luca, you have a friend here, a colleague. You've been working together, preparing AVA, so Thomas wants to say a few words to you.
Hey, Luca, brother, how you doing? I have a very, very simple question for you. Luca, my friend, tell us, who's your favorite astronaut?
Well, Thomas, what can I say? My favorite astronaut is talking to you right now.
I have your favorite astronaut female here. Claudie would like to say hello to you as well.
Hi, Luca. Yeah, that's such a pleasure to be with you, and we would like to share as long as possible this time with you. Could you give us just a little bit of what you see now? Where are you?
So we just flew over the coast of East Asia, and we are in the South Pacific, flying towards southeast, and then we're gonna come up for our ascending orbit towards the northwest, and going across the southern continents of America, and then back down over Italy and over Europe and the rest of the world.
Luca, you have your Director General, your boss is here, and he's going to have a hard time in November trying to convince 22 ministers for having more money. I know we're spending almost 1.6 euro per European per year for the science and exploration. Do you have an advice to give our Director General, Jan Werner, here?
I think, first of all, I think that Mr. Werner doesn't need any advice from anybody like me, because convincing how important space is should be a very easy task. Now, the receiving end may not be willing to receive the message, but that is not the point. Space is an incredible opportunity for so many things, for science, research, technology, exploration, human exploration, robotic exploration. Space is about the future, and the future involves all of us. Every single individual that's sitting in front of you right now is involved in the future. Their life depends on the future. Space is investing everything into the future. So we need to understand that when we ask our politicians, our leaders, to invest into space, what we're really asking is to invest in science and technology for the future. And the future belongs to all of us.
Thank you very much, Luca. Here's a question from students here. Of course, the moon is very important. So the question is, going forward or going back, or as Jan Werner says, going forward to the moon, why? And what for? What is your opinion?
Oh, wow. There are so many reasons why we need to go to the moon. The first reason is that we have not really explored the moon. We have landed there, yes, 50 years ago, but the exploration was only constrained to 6 sites, and very, very restricted. So we have learned a little bit about the moon, but we haven't really explored it. Now, the moon is a necessary step for further exploration. It's hard to get there because if the space station is 400 kilometers away, the moon is 1,000 times further away than that. But there are so many resources that we can find on the moon. We know that there is water. We know that there is helium-4 that we can mine. We know that we can build and create an exploration point from which we can start our future exploration, and it's going to be a test bed for us to go further away. The moon is perfect because it's like an island. It's like a close island to the coast that we can use to learn technologies, to learn what we need, all we need to learn and test to go further away. We are so lucky to have such a magnificent satellite so close to us. So, first of all, so it's the science, the knowledge, knowing what the moon is all about, because we still haven't found out everything. Secondly, it's a test bed for new exploration that we need to test and invent and create and build so that we can go further away. And we know then, thirdly, the resources that are on the moon are there, and we can definitely create an environment that humans can use to live there, to create an outpost. So really, it just makes sense for the future of the exploration and technology to use the moon. Now, it's going to be completely different when we go back to the moon than it was 50 years ago. The first time we went there a little bit like the Vikings that landed in America. They got there, they didn't really do any exploration, and they went back. Instead, we need to be more like the Peregrines of the Mayflowers, where we go there and we want to stay. We want to stay and start our expansion.
So, we're talking about the moon. But of course, the next destination is Mars. And here's the question, when and how?
Well, those are two very important questions. For the when, I dare say that as Europeans, we are already on Mars. I mean, we have an orbiter, and we'll soon have a lander. So we are really on Mars already. With the mission ExoMars is going really well, especially the orbiter giving us lots of data. So the exploration is ongoing on the robotics side. Now, when we talk about humans, the level is completely different. It's a completely different thing. I just said the moon is 1,000 times further away than the station. Now, Mars is 1,000 times further away than the moon. So, of course, it's exponentially harder to get there, especially if we want to go there as humans. But, hey, we like to do hard things because they're more interesting. The easy things are never interesting. So, how to go to Mars? Well, we need really a switch of to switch our minds in a completely different directions, because we are talking about sustainable capabilities to go there for a long time without any Earth support. We need to take everything with us and continuously repair it, possibly self-repair. We need to understand that the communication is gonna be unavailable between Earth and the spaceship, and then once we are there, we need to be really independent. So those steps to go to Mars will require. Oh, here's a friendly reminder that we are in space. Those steps to go to Mars will start here on the space station. And then the next step, going to the moon, will teach us all the things that we cannot learn right now on the space station. But the technology, the ideas, the physiology that we need to find out, this is why the space station is such a unique platform to learn those things before we start that trip. So once we decide to go to Mars, it's going to take years. Yes, it's going to take years, but we know it's possible, and it's definitely the next step for exploration, because we believe that there may be sources of life. We know that Mars used to look a lot like the Earth at one time, and so we're still learning about Mars, and we want to find out more. And definitely, Mars being our neighbor planet, we want to go there. I don't have a date because nobody can come up with a number that's fixed. But the sooner we start exploring, the sooner we start using the technology that we are inventing, and the sooner we can make a global investment into that kind of technology exploration, the sooner we'll get there.
And of course, there's a big date coming up next year with the ExoMars mission. Many of those who heard this will be an absolutely huge rover that will be sent on the surface of Mars. And this is a cooperation between Europe and the Russians. This is an absolutely extraordinary mission, which will put the first step into a Mars process. But let's see, you're a jet pilot. You are strong guys, absolutely resistant. You've been commander of a team of jet fighter pilots. Are you scared on space station? Are you scared about debris? Are you scared about collisions? Are you scared about something?
So let's talk about fear. What does it mean to be afraid? I think that there is only one kind of fear. And it's the fear of the unknown. It's a survival bell. When we don't know something, we are afraid of it because we want to live. So, to me, fear is like when we are kids and we are afraid of the dark. We open a door, the room is dark, and we are afraid because we don't know what's behind the darkness. Is there a monster? Is there a hole? Is there an obstacle? And we are afraid. But as soon as we turn on the light, no matter what we see, we're not afraid of it anymore. So if we open a room and it's dark and we turn on the light and there is a monster, now there is a monster. We need to either we fight or we go away, but we know what to do. We are not afraid anymore. There is a hole, we go around it. There is an obstacle, we go back or go around it. So we are not, once we know something, we are not afraid of it anymore. So here on the station, you have the most trained people on and off the Earth. Thomas was up here for almost 200 days. you can ask him the same question. He trained for years before he could come up, and so all the training pays off because it takes away the unknown. We know what to do in case of emergency. We know what to do when we are outside EVA. We know what to do when we are inside and we are working. So that takes the fear away. There are other things that come into play. There are other unknowns, but instead of being afraid, we use our skills and our training and our experience to take care of the unknowns. For example, when I had the emergency outside, there really isn't a lot of time to think about fear, but rather to react to the contingency and make use of all those tools those tools that we have, which is our knowledge and the training we receive. So I can honestly say, of course, I'm afraid of many things. When I'm on Earth, I think about my daughters, I think about my family. I'm afraid of the climate change because there's nothing I can do and I don't know what to do. But here on the space station, in my professional world, no, I'm not afraid because I know what I have to do, I know what my job is, and I know how to behave.
On the second slide, is it some kind of a learning curve where you feel more comfortable, in particular in the domain of risks within the space station? Not only the risk of collisions, but also radiation or anything that could malfunction on board?
Well, first of all, we know that we are still inside the magnetosphere of Earth. So we are fairly protected by that. We are fairly protected by the space station itself, and we wear dosimeters on us. And 20 years of experience has shown that we are quite resilient to absorption. So, of course, we are exposed to a higher risk of radiation, but it's something that we accept as astronauts when we pick up the job. And the same when we go outside, or in case of space debris or micrometeorites. Those are real risks that happen, but we really trust the teams on the ground to mitigate those risks. We have ways of changing the station orbit so that we can go away from a possible debris collision. And when we are outside, we have procedures so that we can come back inside as fast as we can in order to avoid any lasting damage.
So we're going to get to the end of this talk, Luca. I'm asked to wrap up, but I would like to invite Thomas to say a few words to you, and then thank you in the name of everyone.
Hey, Luca, I know I'm going to describe what's happening right now. You have 1,200 students in the room looking at you with stars in their eyes. You got many more hundreds online, so you've made everybody very happy. It always blows my mind to see the quality just of the connection that we can get from the ISS. Not much. I mean, you're doing great, bro. Keep it up. Take good care of yourself, above all. Take good care of your crew, and take good care of the station. And I'll see you when you're back on Earth.
Hey, Thomas, it was really fun to talk to you. And I can tell you that everybody from the crew up here said to say hello to you. And so I'm passing my greetings from the crew of the space station to Philippe, to Thomas, Claudie, of course, and the DG. Thank you for having me tonight. It's really a pleasure, and thank you for all your questions.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event.
Thank you, Luca, and all our participants from MESA. Station, we are now resuming operational audio communications.